So welcome everyone to the Leadership Gem Series, a program under the Bmcc Academy of Leadership and Service. My name is Kayla Marilis-Bassnight, and I'm the Assistant Director of Student Activities and Civic Involvement. Thank you for joining us today for one of our first, for our GEM session of fall 2021, for the fall 2021 semester. We're so looking forward to this interview, so let's get started. Thank you for being here, Cheng.
Thank you for inviting me back.
We're so happy to have you here. So why don't we get right into it? And sure. Your first question is, brag about yourself for a minute. Tell us a bit about who you are, what you were involved with during your time at Bmcc.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Cheng. It's so great to see you all here. I'm so flattered to be invited as a guest for today's meeting. I guess my experience was not very common since I experienced multiple roles in SGA, senator, vice president, and then president. So 3 years ago, I was a member of a leadership program organized by Kayla and Christina, who never hesitated to offer me great advice and help, along with Miss Mars. At that time, I didn't know that one day I would become the president of Student Government Association, and I had never foreseen that half of my term would be spent under pandemic. The program was BOLT, which stands for Building Outstanding Leaders of Tomorrow. Through a series of workshops and activities, I was able to learn the basic skills required to become an effective leader, such as communication, problem solving, and so on. I was also able to learn what opportunities were available to participate in, both on campus and off campus. And that program was where I start my leadership journey. So the following semester, I visited SGA and tried to see what I can do to join the team. And I was told that they were actually looking for new members since some of the old members graduated. So to my surprise, I became a senator after only 2 rounds of interview. I still remember clearly how terribly I was shaken when I was being interviewed by more than 10 members in front of an audience. And that semester offered me a great opportunity to learn from my peer leaders who worked passionately and always full of faith while solving problems raised by the student body. After the executive member graduated, I was encouraged to run and I was voted to be the vice president. So basically that's, pretty much as an introduction.
Awesome, thank you so much. So for the next question, we want to know what you've been up to since you left Bmcc.
Actually, unfortunately, being a student, like full-time student at Columbia, and I wasn't able to participate in any student leadership program due to at least 2 hours commuting and a lot of academic pressure. But I'm still a member of New York Cares, where everyone is welcome to contribute it to either their time or energy or money to help people who needs it. And the activities they organized are always great opportunities for people to learn from experienced members and leaders. And they also offer excellent chance for people to know each other and make friends with someone who can share the similar goals. So.
And what are you studying at Columbia?
So right now is financial economics, probably concentrating in CS, computer science. Yeah.
Awesome. So who is someone that you admire as a leader and why do you admire them?
Okay, I'm not trying to flatter, but I would like to say Christina. And Kayla and Mr. Mars are great too. It was just because I worked with Christina most of the time when I was at Bmcc. I got to familiarize myself with all the traits a great leader should possess: being organized, being full of enthusiasm and of great ideas when even with unforeseen problems, hardworking, always communicating in an effective way, prioritizing, being a great listener, and providing valuable advices, and more importantly, always being honest and patient. And I also wanted you to know that a great leader doesn't have to be a leader far away from you. Um, Sometimes you might even question how someone can become a president without possessing certain indispensable leadership traits. So just look around. So you can always learn from others, staff members, classmates, program members. I would say because everyone has different weaknesses and strengths, and learning from their strengths, I would say it's the most effective way for you to become a more capable person. And I wouldn't be who I am today without their help and inspiration.
I just want to give you a hug. That's like also, I have to just say, like, knowing where you started and seeing you here now, I see so much development and progress and who you are. And it's just, it makes my, yeah, like Christina, the heart emoji, like it makes my heart feel so warm and happy to see you.
Proud of myself too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is one lesson that you learned during your time as a student leader at BMCC?
Actually, I'd like to share two lessons, and one is for you as a member of any group. Communication is important, and always remind yourself and your members what the common goal is. As a student leader, your shared goal should be how to serve the whole student body better and how to solve any issues they encounter as a student. And never forget that don't take any disagreement personally. You just have different ways of thinking, and when looking for the best solution for the issue that you're facing. Another one is for you as a student. Always prioritize academic success. Well, I'm sorry. What is true that any leadership experience will help you to become a more capable person, to build a strong network, and to polish any skills you possess. It shouldn't overshadow your academics. It means, like, if you feel that you are not able to balance both, always put studying first so that you can, start here, go anywhere. So yeah, there are the two lessons I would definitely share with you.
Thank you so much. Someone in the chat said true. It's like you're speaking truth, 100%. So, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give to yourself before you were a student leader?
Actually, there was a case. I'll never forget this. There was one member who failed to perform his duties several times, but the executive members, including me, decided to offer him one more chance since he argued that everybody deserves a last chance. But we made that decision without noticing that other members disagreed, and one valuable member just quit right after the meeting. And she didn't do anything wrong. And that quitting decision wasn't easy for her either, especially because she was so excellent and won her place in SGA as one of the 60 candidates. She just lost faith in the executive team. So I would have told myself not to try to please everyone, especially those who don't really follow the rule or who don't respect like the shared values. So because you wouldn't know the cost, like the real cost of such a compromise until it was too late. So just make smart decision.
So this program is called GEM, and a gem is a sparkly, precious stone. So what would you say was your sparkly moment or highlight as a student leader at BMCC?
I was called upon a short notice to present a speech at the student SGA inauguration after the original speaker wasn't able to show up. And it turned out to go well. So for a moment, I felt like, oh, I was a hero from a Marvel movie. I was just kidding. I was just basically happy that there was something that I can do to help. And my members responded so positively that it made me feel like I had risen to an important occasion. So I would say that is the most sparkling moment for me.
I remember it, actually. I remember it. So when you pick up a gem, you can see your reflection. So please tell us about a situation that made you reflect on your own actions as a leader and caused you to become more self-aware.
Actually, I was a new immigrant at that time, and I wasn't familiar with a kind of democratic process that would be carried out in a student government. When I became the chairperson of the SGA meetings, I became aware of the importance of standing in a neutral position, no matter how much I agree with one side in the discussion. I also surprised myself by being able to gain enough knowledge to play a central role in the meetings. I would definitely say like such experience will help you to know better about yourself, like to explore your own potentials.
So drop a gem of knowledge. What is one piece of advice you would give to the GEM members that are here today?
Okay, actually two. Being honest and hardworking. So if you're an honest student leader who is committed to doing your work ethically, the rest of the class will know you can be trusted, right? And either in-person relationships or when working on group assignments. And hard work is contagious. If you are seen working hard and showing a true passion for the subject, you will inspire others to believe that they too can and even should strive for excellence. So I think for me, these two are the most important thing, like being a leader.
So we have a question from Yusuf in the chat. What was the hardest challenge that you had to overcome during your time at BMCC?
I have to say the unforeseen COVID was definitely a difficult challenge because none of us, including the OSA members, we didn't have any experience about that. And we had to shift to online, and which is quite new for all of us. And but I'm sure that you have felt more comfortable after a year and a half. And there are so many advantages to utilize the internet to attract a larger student audience, I would say. So yeah, it was just so unique.
What is something that motivated you to become a senator of SGA when you first decided to join?
Actually, I was told that SGA is the place that I could ask for help, and they would definitely advocate for students, no matter what problems or issues they encountered. So I felt like, oh, this is kind of like a home for students. So I feel like I would like to be one of them. It's not just for myself, it's for the whole student body. And I feel like we would be able to make the whole campus, to make the whole college a better place for like the other generations of the students. So it's going to be like like continuing process. So yeah.
Yeah. So talking about BMCC and helping others, what were some offices and resources at BMCC that were helpful for you?
First one, OSA, and next one. I mean, there are so many programs, and I know that you have already developed like a bunch of like new programs and for different targets or different purpose, and there are also a lot of like workshops. And I remember that for the first semester of mine at Bmcc, I was able to attend several workshops basically every week. And then also, like I said, like leadership programs also like offer you a lot of opportunities to know about like what kind of programs or events that you can participate to gain certain skills and to know more about the college. Yeah, so.
So you mentioned that your major at Columbia was finance and economics, is that right?
Yes.
And that
Yes.
you're looking to major in computer science?
I
Or
was considering
minor?
like, yeah, minor or concentration.
Concentration, got it.
Yeah.
So what made you choose that major, as well as what was your major when you were a student at BMCC?
Oh, actually, for the first semester, my major was accounting. And then later, I feel like accounting was a little bit too narrow. So I felt there are more possibility in business administration. So I changed my major and I was able to apply what I learned in class when I was a member in SGA. So I was a member of financial committee, and I was able to apply the knowledge I learned from accounting classes. And that was really, really like useful. And because that made me feel like, oh, I can apply what I learned in class. It's not just like something you would never be able to use. So that makes me feel like never just underestimate like what you learned in class. It's going to be something, it's going to be some skill that you possess and you can be you can utilize in the future life. So
yeah. Another question was, what are some tips that you might have for picking a school to transfer to? Like, how did you decide Columbia was the best fit for you?
actually, that is really a good question. I have so many factors that affect my decision. One of them is my family, because they're here. And I feel like, and I was the only one who can speak English in my family. So I feel like I have the duty, responsibility to take care of them. So I wouldn't choose any other colleges in other states. That is the first, like, that is my priority. Then second one, I would say, like the major. So you would always wanted to find like the major that, how can I say it, like that fits you most or best, and just but don't limit it by those prejudice, because for me I thought, oh no, I wouldn't be able to handle like computers. It was so hard. But this semester, actually, this was the first semester I chose a CS course, and I felt like, oh my god, it was so interesting. and then I changed my mind, and I felt like, okay, why not just like try this and make it my concentration. And since it's so useful, and also I think the interest is very important. Like if you're interested in certain field, just go for it, because I feel like the interest is always like the most powerful drive for you to become successful.
Yeah, so there's two more questions for you.
Sure.
One student, Rayon, wanted to know if you would be willing to share an email for him to contact you.
Of course.
Yeah, he would love to sort of talk about, he's in a similar position and would love to sort of communicate about that. And then another question was, were you, with Columbia, were you able to get scholarships for attending Columbia?
Okay, so I'm sharing my email first.
Okay.
So yes, I did got like a scholarship, but it's not full. Full scholarship is only part. It also depends on your GPA. So try your best to get a higher GPA, and then also I was lucky because I got financial aid for that. So basically, every year I still need to pay about I think about like $10,000 out of pocket. Yeah. But besides that, because I'm taking this semester, I'm taking 13 credits. So it's about $2,000 per credit. So I was happy that I was able to be covered like most of it. So yeah, still manageable.
And did you, in regards to scholarships, did you you like applied for different ones, or it was part of like the packaging and height?
Just like the packaging. Yeah, but definitely there are so many other scholarships. Then you need to do your own research and to apply as many as possible. But it just cost a lot of time and energy for me. And yeah, so I didn't really do that. And also always remember to talk with your like student peers. They will definitely tell you like really good resource that you can utilize. And because sometimes the advices they wouldn't really tell you, because at least they are kind of like the employee of the college. So yeah, always talk, always have a good relationship with your peers and share thoughts with them. They will be, really like informative for you to gain a lot of knowledge about the college. And yeah.
Another question we have in the chat from Athelia is, what advice would you give to someone who aspires to be a leader?
Actually, I believe that you have already learned the basic principle or basic traits that a leadership possess in through programs. But I would say goal orientated always. Like I said before, being a leader, always to remember that you are not just you're working for a certain goal that you would like to achieve. And don't take it personal, like if there is any disagreement. And also willing to serve others, right? So yeah, and what else? I think there's so many that you might have already covered. Something like being positive, it's very important, because sometimes you might feel like frustrated since life is complicated. Sometimes it's not just like pressure from studying. Sometimes you have like personal issues, and sometimes you might encounter some conflicts with others, and just keep positive. And when it's necessary, just ask for help from others. I believe, at least for me, there are so many people that are willing to help you without any hesitation, without any concern. They just willing to help. And because I feel like this world is pretty warm for me, I always feel like being a part of it, it's really like a nice experience. And also I would like to, like pay back to them. So that is how people interact, and how they got inspired from each other. Yeah, I feel that I'm not sure if that make any sense to you, but I hope that it's like a good advice or like your experience can be shared with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you made perfect sense, and the student also wrote in the chat that it does. Thank you. So
Thank you.
yeah, um, I think those are all the questions that we have for you. And we're just so appreciative of your time, and it's so beautiful to see your journey, be able to bring you back as an alumni and have you here and share your wisdom with the group. So we just want to extend a big hug and thank you to you, Cheng. And
thank you so much.
yeah, and folks are saying thank you for sharing your journey.
It's my pleasure.